Long ago, in the vast lands of Uduma, there were two neighboring kingdoms, Igbudu and Odoroma. The people of Igbudu were known for their kindness, their fertile lands, and their skill in farming and hunting. Their rulers were fair, and the land flourished with crops and livestock. Odoroma, on the other hand, was ruled by a ruthless and ambitious king, King Obadami, who believed that his people were destined to rule all lands. Unlike Igbudu, Odoroma's lands were dry and harsh, making survival difficult. Over the years, King Obadami had expanded his rule by conquering smaller villages, forcing them into submission. One day, he turned his greedy eyes toward Igbudu. He claimed that long ago, his ancestors had once hunted in the forests of Igbudu, and therefore, the land rightfully belonged to him. With this false claim, he sent his warriors into Igbudu, demanding the people surrender and serve him. The elders of Igbudu, fearing war, tried to negotiate, but Odoroma was not interested in peace. Their mighty warriors attacked, burning villages, killing those who resisted, and enslaving the rest. The once proud kingdom of Igbudu fell into despair, forced to pay heavy tributes and serve a foreign king. For years, the people suffered under Odoroma's cruel rule. Their young men were taken as laborers, their women forced to work in the palaces of their oppressors. The elders whispered about the days when Igbudu was free, but no one had the courage to stand up against Odoroma. Amidst this suffering was a boy named Ogaga. Born to poor parents, Ogaga was abandoned as a child because he had a strange mark on his forehead, a dark streak that many believed was a bad omen. In Igbudu, children born with such marks were often cast away, seen as cursed by the gods. Ogaga grew up as an outcast, living on scraps, watching from the shadows as others lived their lives. But despite his rejection, he was strong-willed. He spent his days observing the warriors of Odoroma, learning their battle techniques, and secretly training himself in the ways of war. Though the people of Igbudu ignored him, the suffering of his homeland burned within him. He saw his people walk with bowed heads, too afraid to fight back. He saw their crops taken away, their children crying in hunger. And in his heart, he swore to change things. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Ogaga gathered a few young men in secret. They were sons of farmers, hunters, and blacksmiths, strong in body but weak in spirit. He looked at them and spoke. "Do you not see what has become of our land? Do you not remember the stories of our ancestors who ruled with pride? Why do we bow to those who have stolen our home?" One of the young men shook his head. "What can we do? We are not warriors. Even our strongest men have fallen before Odoroma." Ogaga stepped forward, his eyes burning with determination. "Then let us become warriors. If no one else will fight for Igbudu, then we will." For months, Ogaga trained the young men in secret. They met in the thick forests at night, learning to fight with spears, bows, and swords. Ogaga taught them stealth, how to move like shadows, strike like thunder, and disappear before the enemy could react. They grew stronger, faster, and more disciplined. The warriors of Odoroma became careless, believing Igbudu was fully under their control. Little did they know, a storm was brewing. One night, Ogaga gathered his warriors and declared, "Tomorrow, we strike. No more shall we live as slaves in our own land. We take back what is ours." His warriors, though still afraid, felt something awaken within them, the spirit of their ancestors calling for justice. At dawn, the battle began. Ogaga and his warriors ambushed the Odoroma soldiers, striking them in their sleep. They set fire to the enemy camps, causing confusion and panic. The warriors of Odoroma, though strong, were not prepared for an organized attack. As the battle raged, Ogaga fought like a lion. With each swing of his sword, he cut down enemies, his presence inspiring his people. The youths of Igbudu, once afraid, fought with newfound courage, their anger turning into strength. The fight lasted for hours. By midday, the great warriors of Odoroma had fallen. King Obadami's men fled, running back to their land in shame. Igbudu was free once more. The people rejoiced, singing songs of victory. They lifted Ogaga up on their shoulder, chanting his name. The rejected boy had become a hero. But the victory came at a cost. Ogaga had been wounded, a deep spear wound by his side. His warriors rushed him back to the village calling for the healer. They tried everything but the wound was too deep. Lying on a mat, surrounded by the very people who once rejected him, Ogaga smiled weakly. "You called me cursed. But today, I have marked history with my name." The villagers wept. The boy they had once abandoned had saved them all. That night, as the stars shone brightly above, Ogaga breathed his last breath. The entire kingdom mourned. But even in their sorrow, they found hope, for Igbudu was free. The people built a great monument in Ogaga's honor, and from that day forward, his story was told to every child, passed down through generations. And so, the rejected boy became the greatest hero the land of Igbudu had ever known. Thanks for watching. If you love this story, please subscribe to this channel. Thank you.